I'm a CNA. Let me hear all your bitches say if you are a CNA. Just work until the day they get paid, certified your serious assistant. Until you forget a bitch, cause when I fall in, say, motherfucker, I'm a CNA. Let me hear all your bitches say if you are a CNA. Just work until the day they get paid, certified your serious assistant. Until you forget a bitch, cause when I fall in, say, empty colostomies or ileostomies. As I beg us through the holes of that, a dozen cc's. That's milliliters, regular mathematics. Some CNAs deal with detox and drug addicts. Some alcoholics, some crackheads. Try to break the lace to get high on this. I've been shackled a couple times and punched in the nose. They're bidding and shitting on and they call me bro. I also empty catheters full of urine. That's what you think goes your peel and bladder. Just keep it thin. Fuck, that would suck to have a tube up my dick. With a tube the size of an inch thick. But shit, it's cool, I got plenty more. The patients with DDs more than food in a grocery store. You the bitch, cause I ain't gonna stutter. And you know I do cocksucker, cause motherfucker, I'm a CNA. Let me hear all your bitches say if you are a CNA. Just work until the day we get paid, certified your serious assistant. Until you forget the bitch, cause when I fall and say, motherfucker, I'm a CNA. Let me hear all your bitches say if you are a CNA. Just work until the day we get paid, certified your serious assistant. Until you forget bitches when I fall and say, mechanically soft and food being bad to you. So old now you get.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to PSA from a CNA. I am your host with the most, the blessed and highly favored FrankoThePen. Thank you for spending just a little bit, a small, a smidgen, a medium, just the tiniest bit of your Wednesday evening with me. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to everybody who is shout out to everybody who is currently working second shift. Shout out to everybody who is going in for third shift. It's a cold one tonight. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? Let me know. What's up, Misty? Happy hump day. That's right, it is. Oh, I did all my humping yesterday. Oh, I did it a day early. Yeah, what was I supposed to do? Ain't nobody about to be. Oh, shoot. Shit, what was I about to say? So, as the title says, tonight I am going to be telling some, what would they be? Would they be frightening? Would they be frightening, disturbing, scary? All types of CNA stories. Well, a couple CNA stories, because I don't like to keep these live streams going for half an hour, so we're gonna have a half an hour full of stories from not just me, but other CNAs who went through some dramatic ass stuff, working during their shift. If you ever send me like a story that you want me to repeat. First of all, if you want to send me a story that you want me to do a story time about, then you could inbox me that. I will go over it. If you want me to, I will keep your name anonymous. If you want the shout out, then I will give you the shout out. But other than that, then I will keep it anonymous, like the stories I'm going to tell here tonight. So, I wanted to wait for some more people to get up in here, but you know what I'm saying. Let's jump into what we're talking about. At least on Facebook. On TikTok, it's going crazy. At least for me, 73 people. Whew. But okay, let's get into the stories. So, I was about to start this with "Once Upon a Time," like an idiot. What the fuck? No. But one day, let me give this dude. Let me give him a generic name so I don't say his real name. John. Okay, here we go. John. One day, John was clocking in. He works first shift. He was clocking in for a shift. First shift, early in the morning. Right after third shift, full moon. So, for most people who work in the medical industry, you already know that a full moon on the third shift is fucking crazy. A full moon on the third shift is fucking crazy. So coming in on first shift, you kind of cleaning up the crazy that had just happened on that third shift. So John was coming in on third shift. I mean, coming in relieving third shift because he worked first shift. Okay. Now, when John gets there, nobody is at the nurse's station. Nobody is in the hallways. John is very confused because it's first shift. Usually he is met by, you know what I'm saying, of course, third shift trying to get off work. But, you know what I'm saying, the nurses giving assignments and they rushing to get their stuff together, blah, blah, blah. It's usually all types of craziness at the nurse's station. So John is very confused by the fact that nobody is in the hallways and nobody is at the nurse's station. All of a sudden, John hears what can only be described as a horror movie scream coming from down the east wing. Immediately, John jumps into action. He runs down the hallway looking for the source of the scream. The scream is coming from Mrs. Williams' room. The scream is coming from Mrs. Williams' room. Now, to describe the room is one room, but it has two beds separated by a curtain. So it's a 2-resident room separated by a curtain. So he runs down to Mrs. Williams' room, where he sees all of the nursing staff crowded by the door. And he's wondering, like, he's asking, like, what's going on? He don't understand. Everybody is looking frightened as they look inside of Mrs. Williams' room. As he takes a glance over all of the people crowding by the door, he sees that Mrs. Williams is on the floor. She's bleeding from her head and to her throat. Her roommate, a new gentleman, has a knife. So he looks over the crowd. He sees that Mrs. Williams is on the ground. Her forehead is bloody. He doesn't know if she hit it or if he cut it, or if the roommate cut it. But the roommate has a butter knife to Mrs. Williams' throat. Okay, which is every A's nightmare. Some resident palm on the shank, of course. Not even got to like the ultimate situation. So most of for some reason, I can't say for some reason because this is what always happens when it's like one male and the rest of the staff is female. I hate to say it like that, but it always happens like this, and it's just so. Everybody on the staff sees that John has come. He's there. He's come to work. They immediately put him to the front of the entire whatever get together group, whatever that, and ask him to go in there and disarm he's a new resident, and he's having a psychotic break, and he has a knife to his roommate's throat, and they want John to go in there fresh on the shift. This is the first thing he's dealing with, so he just walked into the bullshit. They want him to go in there and disarm this new resident. Wonderful, just fucking wonderful job thing. Now, the new resident was a war vet, has a psychotic break. He's between 50 and 60. And they're in there because, of course, the family couldn't deal with it or didn't have the time to deal with him. So they sent him to John's facility. John, regretting that he instantly, like, I should have called in, but whatever. Now I got to deal with this. He's slowly talking to the guy while slowly inching his way to the resident. And immediately the resident takes the butter knife and slashes Mrs. Williams on the forehead, telling John to stay back. Immediately John jumps back because this dude is serious. He just cut Mrs. Williams' forehead just off the mere attempt of trying to get a resolution out of this. Okay. Now we gotta think of another tactic. So what's the other tactic here? Of course the facility doesn't want to call the police and deal with a whole bunch of other stuff, but they might have to. So, you know how facilities be covering shit up. Let me not say that shit. So, John, thinking quickly, notices a cup on a TV stand. John throws the cup, not at the resident. It's a glass cup. He grabs the glass cup. He throws it at the wall. It's a concrete wall behind the resident. Hits the wall, shatters. Instantly, the resident holding the knife is taken aback. So at that swift moment the guy with the knife took it away from Mrs. Williams. At that moment, John leaps in, grabbed the hand of the resident with the knife in it, was able to remove the knife, pick the resident up and put him on it, pick the resident up that's having a psychotic break, put him on his bed, hold him there while he tells the other nurses to get Mrs. Williams out of there and get her some help. So he started his work shift off with a hostage situation. Some people would call that crazy. Most aides would call it a Tuesday. And of course, the resident is screaming and cussing, all this stuff, trying to get loose, and John can't let him go. So they ended up having to call the police, call his family, call the Mrs. Williams family because of course she got hurt and cut, and then they ended up taking him out of there and out of the facility because he's a danger not only to himself but to others. That's how we start our workday. Sometimes I'll be sitting here listening to people bitch about how they start. Did you start your day with a hostage negotiation, potentially being stabbed? I'm just like, what did John say? This is not the John in the story. This is just a regular John who'll be on my live streams. What did he say? Just because I'm a guy, I can bleed just as easy as a female colleague. I'm going to resort to my correctional officer training and use knife disarming skills I have been trained in. Job license to be damned. The facility damn well call the PD. That's a felony. The nurse can administer PRN, Everton, as long as they get in order. I don't know. I don't know if they really gave the guy anything. I just know that they disarmed him. They held him there until the police came. But I felt, dude, women will put men in just especially in the medical field, and most of the time I won't say we not willing to do it, because of course man protect woman brain that most men have, but women will put men in just in just some of the most horrendous situations. and we just have to do it with a smile because, of course, we men, and we're not supposed to be bitching like that. I told the story on here plenty of times about how when I first got started being a CNA, there was a family member yelling at a resident of ours, and it was loud, like you can hear it in the hallway. And the nurse told me, they was like, because I have this face and I look like this and I'm this big, the nurse told me, like, just go in there and check on him and scare him a little bit. They use me. I'm used as a scare tactic a lot. It almost make you feel bad. It make you feel like you bullying. It make you feel like you bullying like a resident or a resident's family and something. But they don't care. They will send you in there. They will send you in there nonetheless. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. It can't hurt. Fuck it. I don't know what to say. But that was the first story, and I thought that was interesting. To start your day off with a full hostage negotiation. That's just. I will say like that. Yo, that's great. If I didn't work in this industry and heard stories like that before, I would say that story was interesting. I would say that's, you know what I'm saying? I would say that story was all types of crazy and out of this world and nuts, and it can be true. But since I work in this industry, yeah, it 100% happens. ABHR, Ativan 2 milligrams, Benadryl 100 milligrams, Haldol 5 milligrams, and Reglan. All I am, and say goodnight. I'm mad John know the recipe to knock a motherfucker out. What the fuck? Can you even put that on I'm like, what is a HIPAA violation? Is it a HIPAA violation to disclose the information? I guess you could look it up on the internet, probably. That will set your tone for your relationship with the patient for the remainder of the time they are with you. That's not a good feeling. Look, sometimes you gotta be like, hey, that resident in there, he's crazy. Watch out for him. I'd rather be safe myself than try to get along with a resident. You want to get along with all your residents, okay? But you want to get along with all your residents, but not at the behest of your own safety. I think I'm saying that right. Am I saying that right? Behest? Is behest the word? I hope so. That was it. All right, so let me look here real quick. It was another one. I had a story time number 2. Oh, story time number 2. You ready? So, this one, I will say this one either ends disgustingly or exactly what you'd figure would happen. So, this person, we'll call her Jennifer. Jennifer had a resident. We will call her Mrs. Betty. Jennifer had a resident named Mrs. Betty. Now, Mrs. Betty had mild dementia and was also super flirtatious with any of the male residents. Said Jennifer, like me. You don't want to be compared to this Jennifer. So Mrs. Betty was very flirtatious with any of the residents who came into any of the male residents who came into the facility. Super, 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 super flirtatious. So, one day, the facility got a new gentleman. Call him Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson was a 65-year-old black, was a 65-year-old black gentleman, clean bald head, lined up goatee, came in there looking good for his age. You know what I'm saying? One of them sugar daddies that one of the young girls would probably go for. little big guy, kind of stocky. Also with slight dementia. So when Miss Betty saw Mr. Johnson, she was instantly on his head. She was in love. And you know what I'm saying, Mr. Johnson, yeah, he kind of liked her back, but he wasn't paying her no mind because he didn't know her. So for weeks, all you saw was Miss Betty flirting with Mr. Johnson. Just, you know what I'm saying, she would go sit next to him when it was time to eat in the dining room. They would just sparking up conversations and laughing, and she'd be touching all up on him and all this other stuff, rubbing his leg and his back. And you know what I'm saying, the facility that they were in had I think most facilities have like a no sex policy between the residents. So I guess this facility had a no sex policy between the residents. unless you were like married or in a long-term relationship, or it was something. It was weird. The asterisk in the policy was just weird. So one night when Jennifer was doing her rounds, she walked into Mr. Johnson's room to find Mr. Johnson laying on the bed with no clothes on, and Betty standing up out of her wheelchair, leaned over and giving Mr. Johnson the old plant watering. She was giving him a mouth hug, a little bit. Oh man, she was giving him just the nicest of mouth hugs, and I feel like that would have been okay if her pants wasn't down and her brief wasn't full of BM. Brief just full of BM, leaned over, giving another male resident just the nicest of mouth hugs. And Mr. Johnson was acting like he ain't smelled none of that. He was just sitting there just enjoying every bit of it. And of course, Jennifer, standing at the door, is at first horrified. She is completely taken aback. She don't even stop it at first. When she first walks in and see it, she just has like a full shocked moment and just backs out of the room. And just backs out of the room and shuts the door when she leaves. She comes up to the nursing station, and the whole nursing station just busts out into laughter. Then they tell her, like, you're going to have to go in there. You're going to have to be a cock blocker, yes. You're going to have to go in there, and you're going to have to stop her and separate those two because they're not supposed to be doing that. So with hesitation in her heart, Jennifer goes and she stops. She gets everybody's clothes back on. She pulled Mrs. Betty off of Mr. Johnson, put her back in her chair, rode her to her room, came back, got Mr. Johnson right. He was pissed off. I'm like, you ruined this. I was just about to be done, and you couldn't have waited like 10 more minutes, maybe 15. I'm old now, so of course he pissed. Then she got to run back to Miss Betty's room. make sure she all right, and then clean up the BM. It was just moral of the story is don't be a cop blocker. No, not saying that shit. Oh shit, that sounds like a crazy shift. It sounds like a Tuesday. It sounds like a regular Tuesday, depending on the nursing home you in. I always hated that rule. I mean, I get why it's in place. Like the number of STDs going around nursing homes is dramatic. It's tragic, really. First of all, I didn't even know old people was getting it in like that. For the number of STDs to be going around nursing homes to be that high, and for that number to be that high and dramatic. But oh shit, I always hated that rule for the simple fact that I'm trying to look up like, okay, so here I was looking up the number of like STDs in nursing homes real quick. A study performed by Berkeley University of California Wellness uncovered significant increases in STIs among adults 65 and older between 2010 and 2014. So it might be higher than this by now, or it could have went down. Who knows? Chlamydia infections increased by 52%. Syphilis infections rose by 65%, and gonorrhea cases increased by more than 90%. Old folks be getting it in, and that sex is nasty. These are the numbers for nursing homes. This shit is y'all grandmas and grandpas be getting it in, and it is drastic. This shit is disgusting. But I always hated that rule for old folks. I live here in a nursing home that I can't leave when I want to. I'm surrounded by these people I'm forced to interact with. I'm bored most of the time, unless we're doing like activities or lunch or something like that. I gotta make up my own fucking fun up in here. Why can't I get my dick sucked? Because I live in a nursing home. This shit don't make no goddamn sense. Look, if I live to make it to be an old person, let's say 65 plus. Now, what age do people use? Well, people come into nursing homes at all ages. But if I live to the age where I need to be in a nursing home, if I'm lucky, I'll be one of the people that never needs to go into a nursing home. But let's just say that I live to be the age that I need to go into a nursing home. Let's say I'm 80 years old, stuff starting to give out. I need to be in a nursing home. Okay, cool. If I, while in this nursing home at the age of 80, if there is some lady in here that wants to touch my penis, my old geriatric penis that probably works every 2 weeks, if there is some lady in here who wants to touch my penis, dear future CNA who is taking care of me, let that woman touch my dick. I don't care. I am 80. Especially if I'm like not married or my wife has died or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's say my wife died before I went to the nursing home. And you know what I'm saying? I'm up in there by myself. I'm up in there single and ready to mingle at 85 years old. If I am 85 years old in a nursing home, stuck in a nursing home, especially in one of them crappy ones where you got to share a room with a roommate and all that stuff. If some lady in here, dear future, this is my essay to my future CNA. Dear future CNA, if one of these old ass geriatric women in here wants to touch my genitals, please let her. As a matter of fact, do me a solid. Go stand by my door and make sure that nobody come in. At least give me, let's see, old folks, at least it's going to take about 15 to 20 minutes for me to even get it up anyway. Spend the rest of that actually doing stuff. So, yeah. Give me like 45 minutes to an hour of just me and that chick. This rule is depending on the state you live in. Is it? I feel like, well, I'm in Michigan, so I feel like most Michigan nursing homes, like no sex in the champagne room. All right, no sex in your bedroom. So most people be like, I've seen couples start and then get married in nursing homes. It's beautiful, but to have no sex in between that's just crazy. I guess it's easier for old folks because they don't really be bumping like that. But for the ones who do, it's still old people out here sexually active. I know, I've seen them. It is gross. But but old people be getting it in, man. If they're both alert and oriented, it's their right. That is true. It should be their right. But some dirty bitch. You know how some family members, let's say, because I've seen this too. Two residents will start dating in a nursing home. Both two consenting adults, no dementia, highly alert. You know what I'm saying? Can move around for themselves, put on their own clothes, go to the bathroom by themselves, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Two, they just in a nursing home, and then you know what I'm saying? They'll start dating, start liking each other, holding hands, kissing, watching movies together, blah blah blah. Sometimes a family member. We've had situations where a family member came in, saw their family member in bed with their boyfriend that they didn't know about that they had, and just pitched the illest of fits, just went off. Why is my oh my god. sorry whoever was. I was going live on both Facebook and TikTok. They just canceled my live because I was talking about nudity and sexual activities. Ooh. Sorry about that. I forgot TikTok is sensitive. Whoop, gave that a shot. Anyway. But yeah, they'll come in, they'll see they family member in bed with like their new boyfriend or girlfriend, pitch a fit, go to whoever in charge, whoever in management, and just act the ass, to be honest. And I'm not like, your family member chose this. They wanted some cutty, and you just what? What did you want us to do? It's just weird like that, but. I want to thank y'all for coming in here and listening to my stories. They was dope. Hopefully I can do this again. If you want to send in stories for me to read over my live stream, you can inbox me, and I will keep you anonymous if you want to. But since it's the end of the live stream, if you haven't already, please like and follow this page so you'll be notified the next time I go live, which will be this Friday with a brand new Bitchin' by the Bar. But if you're not into that, I will be back next Wednesday with a brand new PSA from a CNA. If you haven't already, please follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at FrankoThePen. If you're vaccinated, stay carded up, and if you're not, stay tested. I truly love and appreciate all of the love I get on this page and on all my other social media, all of my social media. I know words, I promise. But anyway, this has been PSA from a CNA. I am Franko the Pen, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.